Edwina, it's a pleasure to have you. Thank you.
Thanks. Great to be here.
You had a great panel, generative AI. Focus of the panel was enterprise. So let's take the first question on that, then we'll try to understand the implications on the generic aspects of generative AI. So let's focus on enterprise. And because big companies tend to spend a lot of money, but also apprehensive. So the apprehension comes first, and the trial comes later. So where do you see and how it should be taken along?
Well, in this particular case, it's going the other way around. A huge amount of excitement, a lot of hype, and a lot of expectations about generative AI and what it can do for the enterprise. And not misplaced. There's a lot of great opportunity, particularly in areas like customer service, areas like anything to do with financial analysis or reporting, places where insights are required. Great opportunities there across the supply chain. And we're seeing a lot of real advantages in areas like talent and payroll, anything, and coding, of course. So lots of opportunity, but there is definitely now also a lot of concern. So companies are worried about ethical AI and what they do with it. Boards of directors are asking questions. And really what's emerging is that the whole data strategy and data foundation of an organization and how people think about using their data, both as a competitive asset, but also in the course of business, is becoming, a really hot topic. So you have that balancing act of opportunity balanced with risk, and people are trying to get that balance right now.
So if I look at AI and Gen AI is more about policies, strategies, the concerns. People, when you look at the consumer side, people are more relating to Gen AI. So should the concerns be the same, or you think this is slightly different?
Well, I think the consumer side of things is very much kind of mirroring what enterprise would consider as a low-code environment. It's becoming democratized. So previously, if you wanted to be an AI, you had to have a computer science degree, like I have a computer science degree, or you have to be a data scientist. And now really anybody can do it. You see kids in school using generative AI, and that's a good thing. And so we're going to see an explosion of democratized AI, either with individuals or with startups, and a kind of a sense of creating like a new form of app store with all of these individualized GPTs that can become available. So I think it's going to be a brave new world. It's going to change how we work, how we live, how we operate, how we learn. But there's a lot of opportunity out there. It's not just for big companies. I think it's an opportunity for everybody.
Yeah. So I want to pick up on that on startups. Obviously, with every new technology evolution, startups have a new sense of excitement, and not all startups are looking at AI / they want to look at Gen AI because it seems a little easier. So what's your advice to startups, how they can incorporate this from the get-go?
I think if you're already in the AI space, you have a leg up, because generative AI is an add-on to it. It's the conversational interface. But actually AI is the intelligence platform that can do many things behind the scenes. So I think you have to decide, when are you going to use generative AI for certain, as I say, conversational interfaces, for creativity, for brainstorming. But for a lot of situations, you actually want a traditional application. So if I'm a startup, I might be thinking now about maybe I should create an intelligent agent. I'm going to have something that's domain specific, that answers a particular problem with particular data, particular applications that I can call, and then I'm going to put a large language model or a generative AI on top to make the interface good. So I think there's every kind of opportunity on that spectrum. But I do think that the idea of intelligent agents is probably the way we're going to see a lot of startups go.
I have a completely different question on gender equity. A lot of effort has gone, and it's still going in to balance that. We still have, long ways to go. How do you see we can better that balance?
Well, that's a big question. I think there are strides being made, but we continue not to make sufficient strides in enough locations at the right time. I think it's a question. I think regulation does have a role here. I think boards of directors have a role here, so corporate governance has a role. But I'm also hoping, I'm a great believer in a movement of change, and I think, it's up to all genders to step into that. And it's not just about having, for example, women's networks advocating for themselves. I think allyship is very important from men as well across the board. I wish I had the answer to that. If I did, the world would be a different place, but I think it's something that's well worth continuing to push.
Great. Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity again.
Lovely talking to you. Thank you.